Hello and welcome to Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, culture, beauty, health, business, money, entertainment, and advocacy. In this edition, I'm going to be sharing 11 inspirational quotes from the literary legend of blessed memory, Maya Angelou. Maya is a woman who endured so many agonies and triumphed over them. Her literary work, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, is the work that put her in the limelight, and she became an award-winning author. Unfortunately, we lost Maya in 2014, and today we celebrate the life that she lived. And I'm going to be sharing 11. I usually share 10, but this time around I'm sharing 11 because it was even really hard to pick the 11. I will be sharing 11 inspirational quotes from Maya Angelou. So let's go. This is another recorded version of Monday Motivation with Bukola. So the first quote I'll be sharing is, "Nothing will work unless you do." Nothing. And that is really true. Nothing works unless you make it work. Things don't happen by themselves. We have to make things happen. What is it that you desire? What is it that you really want to make happen in your life? If you don't know how to make it happen, all you have to do is to start seeking for knowledge in that area about how to make it happen. Sometimes you might have to talk to people. Sometimes you might have to read books. Sometimes you might have to go online and do your research. And thank God for Google. Google is so great. Just Google it. What is it you want? What is it that you really want? Just Google it. Like, let's say, how to braid hair. That is just an example. How to braid hair. Just Google it and you'll be surprised how many hair braiding tutorials you will find, even like on YouTube. And if it's something else, Google it. If you can't find it on Google, because of course sometimes you will be looking for some deep things and you might not be able to find it on a platform like Google, ask questions, find out from people who knows something. And sometimes it might take you a long time. Yes, it might take you not 1 day, not 2 days, not 3 days, not even a month or a year to find the answer. But trust me, if you continue to search, you will find the answer. So nothing will work unless you make it work. So you have to make that thing work for you. Whatever it is you desire, it is your responsibility to make it work. So let's move on to the next quote. The next quote is, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." Whoa. There is no greater agony. Have you gone through the experience of wanting to say something and you are like biting your tongue and holding your fist for not having the opportunity to share that thing you want to share? Or you have something burning in your heart, you have a message and it's so hard, or you didn't share it and you are feeling so sad that you didn't share that thing. And I listened to this great man. He's also passed away, Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe said, "In the grave, that is where there are lots of talent. He said the grave is the most treasured place. Like, that's where there is the most treasure in this world, is in the grave. Can you imagine? Why? He said because there are authors that didn't write a book. There are musicians that did not sing one song. Can you believe that? And that is so true. So what is it in your heart? What story do you have inside of you? You've got the time now. You've got the freedom. There is no better time than now. And I want to encourage you not to worry about having it all perfectly done. It doesn't have to be perfect. All that has to happen is for it to be told. So tell your story, share your story. You don't know who your story will inspire. Now we are being inspired by Maya Angelou's story. You don't know who your story will inspire, so share it. Don't worry about perfection. Perfection will take care of itself. So do not worry. Now let's move on to the next quote. And the next quote says, I've learned that making a living is not the same as making a life. I will take that again. I've learned that making a living is not the same thing as making a life. Whoa, that is loaded. Making a living is not the same thing as making a life. Making a living, in my own translation, is you go to work maybe 9 to 5 or whatever job you do, whatever hours it is. You go to that job, you do your work, get paid, and go home. Period. But making a life goes beyond a 9 to 5 job, or goes beyond going to clock in and going to clock out, or you are doing this job and you get your pay and that's it. You pay your bills, you take care of your kids if you have kids, or you go to vacation and that's it. But making a life is beyond just making a living. Making a life is when you are also affecting other people's lives in a positive way. When you are impacting other people's life. When your life is looked at as an example by other people. Where your life is inspirational to others. So ask yourself this question: are you making a living, or living a life, or making a life? That is a question you need to answer by yourself, and ask yourself whether you are making a living or you are making a life. We will be back after the break. Thank you again. This is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, money, business, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And today we are talking about the literary legend Maya Angelou. So 10 quotes again from Maya Angelou. The number 4th quote I'll be sharing is, try to be a rainbow in someone's clouds. Wow. You know, as I said rainbow, I see the picture of rainbow on the sky. You know, when it tries to rain, or it rains a little bit and it's cloudy, and all of a sudden you see these beautiful 7 colors from a moon, you know, like almost like a, not really half moon. It's so nice. It's beauty to behold. And it says, be a rainbow in someone's life. What does that mean? You see those colors of the rainbow, multiple colors, beautiful colors. Be that to somebody. And in essence, it just means, in my own translation, to, you know, make somebody happy. when they are going through the toughest of time. You never know. And you know, even little things. There was a day I remembered, there was a Christmas, it was Christmas time. I don't remember whether it was Christmas Eve, but it was during Christmas. And I went to McDonald's drive-through. I went to get, I think it was chicken nugget or so for my son. And as I was in the drive-through, I got to where to pay, and the cashier said, "Don't worry, the car in front of you paid for you." I was like, "What?" She said, "Yes, the car in front of you paid for you." And I thought, does that person know me? I don't even know that person. And I remember too, there was another time I went to, it was another McDonald's. McDonald's story today. It was another McDonald's, and I wanted to pay. I brought out, this time around, I didn't do drive-through. I went into the store and I wanted to pay for my food. But guess what? As soon as I reached in my purse, my wallet was missing. I couldn't find my wallet. And I was perplexed. I was like, what? I ordered food and my wallet is missing from my bag, meaning, I must have left it at home. And I think what had happened to me that day was that I changed my bag and I didn't remember to remove my wallet from the bag I had used previously. But guess what? This woman standing beside me just said, "Don't worry about it," and she paid for that meal. So there are even like simple things you can do for somebody. Do you have somebody right now that is on the sick bed, that is sick, that you should go and visit? Or even if you cannot visit them, can you just give them a call and say hello? There are little things we can do to be a rainbow in somebody's cloud. So let's move on because we don't have a lot of time. We only have 30 minutes on the show. The fifth one is people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Whoa. That is so true. People don't forget. Sometimes we forget what somebody said to us. Sometimes we forget what somebody did to us. But we do not forget how we felt. The reason is because feeling is emotional. And our emotion stays with us for a very long time. It lingers on because it's the emotion. So think about that. How you make somebody feel, or how somebody made you feel. Let's move on. The sixth quote is, "We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated." We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. That is true. What is it that you are going through right now? What is it that is bugging you right now that you are going through? Don't let that thing defeat you. You can overcome that thing. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of finding ways. Just like how you find ways to make things work, is the same way you find ways to overcome your challenges, your tragedy, whatever it is that you are going through right now. I hope that somebody listening to me right now can sit down for a minute and think, what is it that is bugging you? What is it that you think is swallowing you, and this thing is just too much to bear for you right now? Trust me, there are people who have gone through similar experiences and they have overcome and you will also overcome. You can, and you will overcome. So don't worry that something is bothering you right now and you can't get over it. You can. All you need to do is to believe and begin to take actions. Begin to take steps. Do you need help to get out of an abusive relationship? Are you a victim of human trafficking right now and you are looking for help? Are you going through bad experience right now and you are needing help? Yes, you can overcome that. Are you going through financial struggles? Are you going through bad health right now and you are listening to this? Yeah, even if it's terminal disease. I was watching 25 years of Oprah this past week, and guess what? There was a woman who was diagnosed. That woman, you know, touched me a lot, and I learned a great lesson from that woman. I don't remember her name, but this woman was diagnosed of cancer, and you and I know that cancer is a terminal disease. But guess what this woman did? She didn't allow that to kill her joy. Even when she went through chemotherapy and sometimes she was very weak. Let me tell you some of the things she did for her young daughter. She spent as much time as possible with this girl. And not only that, I was like, wow, for her to have done this, she even went ahead and bought birthday presents and Christmas presents for her until the age of 16. So every year, even after she's gone, there will be a present from her mom. Her mom who might have been dead at that time, for her. Wow. Wow. So what is it you're going through? You can turn that to positivity. Don't let it defeat you. And that was what this woman did. She did not allow cancer to defeat her. Dying, everybody is going to die one way or the other. We just don't know how. But if you are lucky enough to know how you're going to die, you have a great gem in your hands, because it gives you the opportunity to prepare. It gives you the opportunity to even do more consciously. And that was what that woman did for her daughter. She even had videos. She was recording videos and giving advice to her daughter. Videos. I saw one about makeup, videos about relationship, videos about all different kinds of things. Wow. So please don't allow defeat to swallow you. Overcome that defeat, and you can. Thank you again. If you are just joining me for the first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, health, business, culture, money, and advocacy. And I'm your host, Bukola Oriola. We are talking about 10 quotes from Maya Angelou. So our 7th quote from Maya is, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Don't complain. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Don't complain. Wow. Oh my goodness. That is loaded. So, and many times we as human beings, we complain about a lot of things we don't like, things that are happening. What is it that you do not like? Change that thing. There are so many things, happening sometimes in our neighborhood, sometimes in our life, sometimes in our work, business, and all of that. So, and some things we are not happy with what is going on. Even in our community, we are not happy. So if you are not happy about something, change that thing if possible. And if you find that you can't change it, according to Maya, change your attitude. Don't complain. Unfortunately, there are some things that we can change, and there are some things that we cannot change. We just have to let go and be hopeful. The 8th quote I would like to share is, it's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself to forgive. Forgive everybody. Wow, that is a great gift. And I do know it's really hard to forgive when somebody offends you. It's really, really, really hard. And even sometimes too, another thing is when you did something wrong, and you're beating yourself down, or you think you did something wrong and you are feeling guilty. I hear about forgiving oneself, even forgiving yourself. It's really important to forgive yourself and forgive others, regardless of what they might have done. That doesn't mean you will forget, and that doesn't mean, in my own opinion, forgiving somebody doesn't mean, oh, you should be friends with the person. You don't have to be friends with the person to forgive somebody. No, you don't have to be. You don't have to be friends with somebody to forgive them. It's you and God. It's about you having peace in your heart and just moving on with your life and doing your own thing without having, the bitterness hanging over your head. So forgive and you may not be able to forget. So I won't say forgive and forget. I believe that you can forgive, but I'm not sure that you can forget. So I will say forgive. Just, even when you can't forget, just forgive. Let go. Just let go and let God. And let's live, hopeful and happy. So the 9th quote I'm going to be sharing from the legendary Maya Angelou is, one isn't necessarily born with courage, but one is born with potential. Without courage, we cannot practice any other virtue with consistency. We can't be kind, true, merciful, generous, or honest. Whoa. And that's true. Without courage, we cannot practice any other virtue with consistency. It takes courage to be consistent in whatever we do. It takes courage, because we're going to face challenges. We're going to face, some bitter challenges. And it is persistency that will help us to break through when we face those challenges. Ask successful people. One of the greatest virtues that have kept them going in the face of adversity is persistence. We can't give up now and expect the change we desire to happen. No. And that's why courage is something that we'll learn. We practice again and again. And the way we practice courage again and again is through persistence. If we are not persistent, we cannot practice courage, because you will be faced with all kinds of challenges, including even sometimes people close to you telling you otherwise and moving you away from the goal. But when you continue to be persistent, even those people around you will start understanding you more and start learning more and start adjusting to you. But if you are not persistent, Nothing is going to happen, or something will happen halfly and then it will stop. But courage is not something that is inborn. We have to practice it. It's something we have to learn and keep practicing and practicing. And one of the ways you can practice courage is, is still through knowledge. Google how to practice courage. Read biographies of people. What have they been doing? How do they keep consistent? How have they been able to be persistent despite their challenges, despite their agonies? I was reading about a man. What's the title? I don't remember the title, but this man, Letono, is a Minnesota born Frenchman. And this man, he faced so many, he builds machines and all different kinds of machines, earth moving machines. And this man, despite all the various kinds of challenges he experienced in life, from a rebellious childhood to becoming, somebody building, he called himself a mechanic, building all these engines and sharing the word of God and doing great things. One of the things I saw in this man is his persistence. This man, according to the book, will be working till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the night or in the morning. And after doing that, then he start writing a weekly, is it even a weekly or daily newsletter about the gospel. So I saw this man being persistent in his work. He didn't give up. Even when his machines do not perform the way he expects them to perform, he continues to work at it and modify and modify and modify and modify. And let's take a simple example. Look at cars today. Let's use Toyota, right? Toyota model 2000, Toyota, which one now? Toyota Camry. Yes, it's one of the ones that has been around since forever. Toyota Camry 2000, year 2000, yes. And this is 2016. It's not the same. Even Toyota Camry 2014 or 2015 is not the same as Toyota Camry 2016. And trust me, Toyota Camry 2017 is out already. It should have been out by now. 2017 model, or about to be out. And it's going to also be different. So it's persistency that makes you to keep practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing, because it helps you to improve on your kindness. You keep doing it again and again. Be kind today. On your truthfulness, you practice again and again on the way you are merciful, generous, and honest to people. It's persistence, and that is not inborn. It's something we practice again and again and again. So let's move on. Welcome. This is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, culture, health, advocacy, business, and money. And today we are sharing inspirational quotes from the literary legend Maya Angelou. And my number 10 quote is, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." You may not be able to control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. In essence, this one is talking about having bad experiences. You don't have to let your bad experience keep you down. You don't have to let your bad experience make you feel worthless. Even if, the experience make you like that, try as much as possible to find your way out of that worthlessness. And there are ways to do that. Excuse me. One of the ways is going to therapy. You know, some people don't believe in therapy. People don't even think they need it. But trust me, especially when you go through certain events in life, therapy can be very helpful. So do not allow yourself to be reduced by that event of your life. Instead, find ways to be elevated above it. Look for the people that will help you to push you up and get you out of that unfavorable experience. So that is the number 10 quote, and the bonus quote I have from her is, love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination, full of hope. Love is powerful. And I don't even know where I was reading it, or whether, I was watching a movie. I was watching a movie, and one of the characters said, you cannot kill love. And it's true, you can't kill love, because God is love, and it helps you to jump hurdles. It's love that makes us to be able to tolerate certain experiences, certain attitudes from people. If you don't love somebody, if you don't love people generally, you will be put off and be angry at everything people do to you. But when you love, even if you are upset right away, you think about it for another minute and you just move on from it and just dismiss it and go on, because love covers multitudes of sin. Love penetrates walls and arrives at its destination full of hope, according to Maya. Full of hope. You're always hopeful that there is going to be better. Things are going to be better. Somebody is going to do better. Somebody is going to add nicer to you next time. Somebody is going to do better. So, love recognizes no barrier. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination, full of hope. And those are my 11 quotes from Maya Angelou. Thank you so much for staying with me this time. I hope to see you again next week, Monday. Again, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola, a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, culture, money, business, entertainment, and advocacy.